Hello again, I'm Dan, welcome back to Vinyl Fury. Not so long between videos this time, it's actually only a day after the last one that I recorded, and that one ended up being pretty long, so I'm going to try to do this much faster. So I have a stack of records that should catch me up as far as new purchases this year, new vinyl. So let's get into it. I had been meaning to get this for a while. This is a compilation of Nick Drake's music called Made to Love Magic. It is essentially, I think, an updated version of one from the mid-'80s called Time of No Reply. So there's some early recordings of familiar songs, some alternate versions. I think one or two songs have additional strings. And it's a pretty good collection that I'm happy to have on vinyl. And this is a 2014 pressing. I believe it was originally made available in 2004. And for the most part, it seemed that wasn't a very good pressing. And this is pressed at United, so that it has that against it. But as far as United goes, it's not one of the worst pressings that I have from them. So, Nick Drake, Made to Love Magic, 180 gram black vinyl. I love Nick Drake. I also love Rob Crow from the band Pinback, is what he's best known for. He's been in several bands. And he's done a few solo records, but this is a new project he's calling Rob Crow's Gloomy Place. And this is pressed on a very nice orange and purple splatter vinyl with some sort of Halloween theme, I think. Very cool. This is a great record. And if you know Pinback or Rob Crow's other solo work, I mean, you pretty much know what this sounds like, but it's very good. There's some really great songwriting here. This is the latest from a band called Basement. They're a post-hardcore alternative rock band from the UK, and I got to know them because I really love this band. They used to be called Daylight, and they had to change their name to Super Heaven. They have a very similar, neo-90s, neo-grunge sound to them, and Basement kind of is in a similar vein, and people were suggesting Basement to me, so I did listen to them. And apparently they went on a indefinite hiatus 2 or 3 years ago and then came back with this record very recently, and it's on what they call a mint and bone swirl, and this is a Hot Topic exclusive to 1,300 copies. It's also pressed at 45 RPM, which is kind of nice. Not a huge improvement over digital, but I enjoyed this record quite a bit. The Rob Crow record, that color was limited to 300. It sold out pretty quickly during the pre-order, but it is still available on black vinyl. This is an album from one of my favorite hardcore, post-hardcore, alternative rock bands, Snapcase. This is from 2000. It's called Designs for Automation, and this is a recent reissue on Victory Records. I didn't know that they were reissuing this, and I just came across it in a record store, and it was only $12. So I went ahead and got it. I had looked into buying original pressings on Discogs and whatnot, and just never found the right price or the right copy. Getting a little glare from the window. It's a nice day outside. But this reissue, it sounded quite good to me. I was pleasantly surprised. It's on black vinyl. Pretty thick black vinyl. Very good for the price. I was pleasantly surprised by that. The latest posthumous release from Michael Jackson, Escape, stylized with an X. And this is mostly B-sides that are added to and reimagined by different producers. Kind of taking what were mostly incomplete songs, some demos, and filling them out, completing them with modern production. And it actually worked out pretty well. I enjoy this album quite a bit. There's some great songs on here. There's one called Love Never Felt So Good. There's two versions, one of them with Justin Timberlake singing with Michael Jackson, and that worked out pretty well. I like that song. I like Loving You. That's a great one. And they're songs and recordings from various parts of his career. But it all comes together to make a pretty cohesive album. And there's a deluxe CD version that has the original recordings of these songs. And it's really interesting to hear the contrast of what was before and what they turned into. So this is pretty inexpensive to get. You can get it for like $17, $18. It's a nice, shiny gatefold 180 gram vinyl, and it sounds pretty good. It's not overly compressed. It's a pretty good master. So now, the exact opposite of that is the latest Foo Fighters release, Saint Cecilia. It's an EP, 5 songs, and part of the conversation about vinyl is dynamic range and the loudness wars. And one of the worst offenders typically is Foo Fighters. For some reason, their records are loud as fuck and really shouldn't be. This one in particular is crazy loud. And it doesn't sound much better on vinyl, really. I don't know if they did anything different. They even released 24-bit WAV files of this on their website, and they are just... I don't know why they would even do that, because it makes no difference. When you talk about loudness wars, brick wall is a common term, which means that there's pretty much literally no dynamic range. If you look at the waveform from top to bottom, it's sound all the way. And that's what this is. It is so loud. It's pretty frustrating. Otherwise, this would be a decent EP. There are some good songs. It is pretty cheap. It's usually about $10. But, damn, it's really disappointing when one of the biggest bands out there isn't on the side of, keeping the musicality intact. Why go through the trouble of recording these songs on really nice equipment? Dave Grohl owns one of the Neve consoles, which is amazing, and then just smash it and take all the life out of it, really. It's confusing. And lastly, the newest release from Polisa. It's called United Crushers, and I didn't know this was coming out until I think a couple days before it did. So I went out and got it on vinyl, and you can get this for less than $20. It's pressed at MPO, and it's a very nice rose-colored vinyl. Very colorful motif as well. And the colors kind of have a different texture than the rest of the jacket. Printed inner sleeve. And colored vinyl. Very nice. I love the record. Pretty much the same style of synth-driven pop, indie rock that they are known for in their last 2 records. But I like it quite a bit. Female vocals, very cool, from Minnesota. Yeah, definitely check this out. Okay, I think I did that about as quickly as I could. So, man. Anyway, there's another video. Now, I definitely don't know when the next one's coming, because there's not a whole lot left in the inbox that's new that I haven't shown. Used pickups and such. Maybe I'll finally get back to the vinyl collection series. I haven't done that in a long time. So we'll see. I just had some time and I figured I'd bang another one of these out. So thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy your music.
In the clouds you count your dreams, but you